Hey everybody, it's Friday, which means it's the whiteboard. We are going to be in 1 Corinthians 1, 28 and 29 this morning. Let's see what God has for us. It says this: God chose what is low and despised in the world, even things that are not, to bring to nothing things that are, so that no human may boast in the presence of God. So let's break down this passage, see what God has for us. So we see at the beginning of this verse, God making a unilateral decision, don't we? God chose the things that will bring him the most glory. And how did God choose to bring himself glory? Was it by using exclusively kings or exclusively people with high position or authority? It doesn't seem that way from this verse. It says God chose what is both what? Low and despised. If you're trying to bring or build an A-game team, this verse doesn't really speak to that heart, does it? It says that God, in order to bring most glory to him, he chose the things that are least likely to give him glory. That means you, that means me, that means almost anybody that you encounter is going to fall into this because why? Frankly, we're not perfect and we fall so woefully short of the standard. So God made a choice to choose what is lowly and despised in this world. This should bring you, I don't know about you, but at least it brings me a tremendous amount of joy to know that God would decide to use me instead of things that are very wealthy, very powerful in this world, but he chose what is lowly and despised for a purpose. Let's see why. Even things that are not, to bring nothing things that are. In other words, you could only attribute the spread of the gospel, you could only attribute what God is doing to God because of the people who are serving him. We can't attribute this to wealth. We can't attribute this to our own personal merit or achievement or goodness because we don't have it. He chose what is lowly and despised so that we can't brag about it, that we can't take credit for it. Look at the end of the verse. It says this: to bring to nothing things that are, so that, here's your reason, no human being might be able to do what? Might be able to boast or to take credit for what God has done, because God is the only one who can do what he does. And he does not share his glory with anyone. He loves us deeply. He cares for us deeply. But God does not share his glory with us. It is for him and him alone. So God chose what is low and despised and built his church and did a work in your life for what purpose? So that you can't brag about it or boast about it in the presence of God. And that's a good thing to know, believe it or not. That gives you confidence to do what you have been called to do, knowing that it's not about your human effort, not about your work that you do, but because of God who works in and through you to accomplish his purposes, because God has chosen to use you for that purpose. And that's a good thing to know. Hey, it's been Pastor Stephen with the Whiteboard. We'll see you again next Friday.